Greetings and welcome to Event Horizon presentation number 3. Yesterday was a very interesting day. It got to 4 o'clock in the afternoon and there was suddenly this feeling of oppression being lifted. Perhaps these group meditations that have been taking place has all helped contribute to this. What I also saw was an image of a hand tipping a very fine crystal wine glass, tipping it, and there was not a drop coming out of this glass, and a very fine sort of decanter, the sort of thing that those with a lot of money would have. And it's saying to me that adrenochrome is in very short supply. As much as anything else, if our thoughts and our words can create things, then perhaps we should be thinking about manifesting further adrenochrome shortage. Because the only way to kill a monster is to starve it of its food source. There is these stories of QAnon going around, and much though I would like to think that this is true, the fact that the internet is still having posts on social media being taken down when you talk about certain subjects like the relation between 5G and the hot topic with the C word indicates that the internet is not control of a good side. And why would some military operation that is supposedly rounding up paedophiles and things be plastered all over the internet? But next month is May, and of course there is the May tricks. So maybe by manifesting these thoughts, and also this talk of ships having children, and which is probably child trafficking anyway, perhaps we can actually change things. Perhaps there are elements within the military that the penny will drop, and they might occur to them that it might be their own children that become this adrenochrome supply, and we could see a split in the military. And I think we can very much change things with thoughts, words and actions. So let's bring it on, because we have to bring this down. This is a spiritual war as much as anything else. The greatest trick that has been played is to hide the true power of humanity anyway. There are more than one type of human that all look very much the same. You've got your NPCs out there. You have your plants. In the UK, it's not just the education system that is filtering out those that, as George Carling said, smart enough to operate the machines, but they don't want them smart enough to work out what's going on, and will want to get hold of those ones. And you have things like the Rotarian Club, the Mothers Union. Pretty much every organisation will have plants in it who will be keeping a watch. That is the dark side version of the all-seeing eye, filtering out the potential greedy, the useful idiots that will be sacrificed, that serve the dark side. Because remember, just like the Dracula film, the servants of the Prince of Darkness are never saved when their usefulness is over. So anybody from that side, think on about that, won't you? You have a very little time to actually make amends for your actions. So something else that came to me. Now, I don't normally dream. I had a very restless night, and after an hour of being asleep I woke up needing the toilet, and I actually managed to find that I did dream. Now, was it a dream? I can only give you an official narrative timescale of this as being somewhere between 1895 and 1905. What I saw was an electric double-deck tram, and the people were in very fine clothing. There was no signs of poverty. The lower deck of the tram had almost a Chesterfield style of seating, very plush. Everything was immaculate. The buildings, the streets. It was devoid of any horse transport and devoid of any wooden carts. So maybe it is a memory. And in this sort of dream, I was saying to people, look, there is something going to happen. There is going to be some sort of arcing. You need to turn the electricity off. So maybe it was a memory from a past life. I'll leave that out there. I cannot. I can only tell you what I experienced with this on my journey. But I thought it was something that is worth sharing on that point. So there's going to be some. This is going to be an interesting month. I mean, there are some wonderful signs. The joke has been going that cars are getting 3 weeks to the gallon because oil sales are clearly not happening with this lockdown, and the greed of this dark side. I like to think of it as, shall we say, a 13-headed hydra. The sort of 13 families will, through their own greed, destroy themselves. They will start turning it on each other, and if we can manifest a shortage of adrenochrome, then we help them on their way. We force a change collectively by putting out that energy. Now, this morning the energy was back to being oppressive, and then I find out a little while ago that it was Palm Sunday. So you've got all those crazy Christians out there praying on their happy clappy online services. Funny how the church is all shut, or one of the first institutions to close the doors, and they always preach about fearing no evil. Well, the usual hypocritical thing. But all religions are a relie of the jinn. There are a lot of tricks played by this dark side in this matrix, after all. People talk about near-death experiences and seeing the light at the end of the tunnel, but remember that white is the absence of colour and black is the sum of all colours. So it looks to be that the demonic will appear as your ancestors and get you to come back, because they don't actually want to destroy anything. They always need a food source, and they will always need slaves that they want to trick. It follows the same pattern as when you go into a court and they ask you if you understand, and if you are not thinking and not hearing what they are actually saying and you say yes to that, you are basically saying you are standing under their power. The patterns fit right across this, and let's face it, if the dark side aren't experts at tricking people by now, well, you know what I mean. And they are experts at doing this. They have got so many people fooled, but out of this it is becoming so easy to spot which are the real humans who do have light, the NPCs, which I would say is about 50% of what appears to be human, and then you have the demonic, the servants of the darkness, the plants in all the organisations, put in everywhere in your life. That and but you may even find that you'll get total strangers that just stare at you. These are probably the NPCs with the lowest, almost non-existent vibration, the soulless zombies that are walking around, that are being controlled, and it is the demonic behind them that is actually staring at you. Whatever they have for brains is staring because they cannot work out your energy. But your energy is strong enough to for them to detect it. Remember that they know who we are, they know what we are, and they know what we are here for. Some of the soul family I'm a little bit disappointed with for starting to feel and give in to the fear, and I am doing my best to keep you all in high vibration that message me. But you do need to do your own work on this and stay in high vibration. That is going to be your best defense. Magnetism is the key. It is what you radiate out from the heart that builds up your own aura, your own torus field, your protective bubble around you. And I can only be a guide, and I can only give pointers. I can only try and keep you in high vibration. You have to do the work yourself, same as every one of us. I know how difficult it is when you go outside, when you go to your daily trip to the shops, for example, what a bombardment it is, how people will sort of sort of go round you and keep their distance, their antisocial distancing, because they are so full of fear, because they're plugging in to this media, the medium of the dark side that is feeding this fear. This has all been manifested by all of us. We are all responsible for what is happening. My part in this, I wanted peace. I was fed up of hearing all the idiots out there, the clones babbling, and they do babble on. The herd loves to be heard. I wanted peace. I've got what I wanted. The Matrix has responded in that way and given me peace in its very deceptive way that it does. Christine has talked about this on Holographic Multiverse. She wanted a sunny day and she got a sunny day. It comes down to that. Collectively, our thoughts can change everything. So let's channel those thoughts. I want to channel my thoughts and put my thoughts and my words into starving this monster of its adrenochrome and forcing its hand so it reveals itself, because like any predator, it has to come out the shadows when it gets desperate. They are doing all they can to starve us through, and with you've got the cashless agenda going on in the UK especially, where they're encouraging contactless payment. Well, yeah, because then it feeds into the system where you are and what you're buying. So I'm sticking with paying cash. I'm not taking part in this stupid game. You've got the cashless agenda. It's also being rolled out in the United States in a more militaristic way, because obviously in the United States you've got guns over there, so they won't play the same tactics in every country because it will be too revealing. But the media scripts are all the same in every country. They reveal themselves by their actions. Some of you that are falling for this whole Trump thing and thinking that he is something good, well, I'm sorry. Politics is all an illusion. They are all actors and actresses. Don't just think that actors and actresses are in Hollywood. Some of them have got lifelong roles as politicians and priests and the other religion called scientism. It's all there to mislead. The answers are very simple, but the illusion it created is to make it seem complex, because they don't want you to find the truth and find answers. Basically, you're getting the same story being revealed in everything, and the messages that are coming through is the restoration of the divine feminine, the restoring the balance. We have to walk that neutral path. It is the tightrope walk, and that is the way we can break out of this. To some, it may seem that I'm being heartless, but we cannot carry anybody. Everybody has to do their own work. You've already had 3 weeks of lockdown in which you can use that time wisely, spend your currency or liquid gold to look into these things for yourself. Use your discernment. Look at everything you possibly can for the answers and make your own mind up on it. And like, it's the cliche saying, don't listen to what I say and believe everything I say. Do the work yourself. That is the only way you're going to do it. But it's understanding, it's know yourself, know how your body functions. Look into the channels that are telling you this. Freak Sense TV and Mr. Astrotheology Santos Bonacci are 2 of the best channels for this. I don't intend this to be a plug of other channels, but the answers are there to be found. They are not difficult. The dark side has to conform to universal laws. Pretty much every film that has come out in Hollywood is doing this. I don't know if you remember Charlie and the Chocolate Factory, the end scene when Willy Wonka, he's got the office and it's half a desk, half of everything, half a coat stand, because they're telling you half truths. And he says to Charlie, you lose, you get nothing, you stole the fizzy lifting drink. It is an analogy and a reference to the ascension, the rising, and trust me, Christians will ascend, and they're going to be in for a very nasty shock, because they are falling for a script of the scriptures that is not the full truth. It is always a half truth in everything. But unless you're going to be open to everything and not try and wrap this round, say, just the Bible, and I don't Bible, but I can see there is the truth in it, for example. It is based on much older texts. You need the astrology, you need the understanding, the inner standing of how the human body works, why you have all 12 zodiac signs within you, why you have the four fluids, the four rivers inside you, and so on. You have a four cortex brain. You need to start using it and applying that critical thinking, and not having this cognitive dissonance. As soon as you stop questioning and you start wrapping things round something you think you know, it is a case of, to know everything is to know nothing. You have to go back to the drawing board and be open to everything, and then your gut feeling, your place of the sun, your solar plexus will tell you what is right. Likewise with food, listen to what your body is telling you. Avoid the processed foods. I know it's difficult at the moment, and also seeing a pattern that nature is, it's become stagnant. It is, nothing is sort of seems to be growing anymore. It's just staying as it is. There is something definitely up, and we are in for a wonderful show in the sky. It has been expressed in various ways as comets coming and so on. I don't know the answers to this, but just have that feeling of nothing is going to hurt you and nothing will. It is as simple as that. There is rules that the dark side have to follow, and they are serving humanity. It is what they're serving that is the problem. So I'll leave that there, and as always, ta-ta for now. Stay in high vibration. Do not give in to the fear. Push it out. Ignore the media. Unplugging from the matrix is very much unplugging from the media, because it is there to lower your vibration and leave you feeling down. And when your vibration is down, it allows the demonic entities to come through and then try and control you. And the fear will lead to stress and lead to ill health. It is as simple as that. I'm not going to talk about this, the dreaded C word, as it were, because there's enough being said on that, and I'm sick and fed up of saying anything about it now. I just spend my time scrolling. Dead Sea Scrolls, you see. You're scrolling past so many posts that are giving in to the fear, and that is what we need to keep away from. Yes, by all means, see it for what it is, understand and have an understanding that that is what it is designed for. Even a lot of the truth seeking is controlled opposition, but even within that there is always a half truth. So make your own mind up on everything. That's all I'm going to say on this. So ta-ta for now.